Ahmed Hussein Siddiqui, 58 years old, father of 2 boys, 1 daughter. Presently homeless, unemployed, but not unemployable. I come from the genre where you went to school, you got educated, you got a degree, you found a nice girl, you got married, you bought a house, and by the time you're 60, you realize, fuck, I got screwed. But it's too late. My parents came here in the 50s. I was born in the 60s. I had the benefit of good education. I just got myself in an awkward situation where after 35 years, my wife and I seem to have different thoughts. We've developed differently. She thinks I've got to the age of 50 and I should be like a good Asian man and sit down and wait to die and make prayers to God. Well, I've been on the job seekers allowance now just over 2 years. This is harder work than having a job. It really is. My heart goes out to people that sign on. I don't think my life is a tragedy. I don't think it's funny. I don't feel pity. I don't feel sympathy. It's my life and I'm going through it, and yeah, I'm okay. I'm grateful that I have my health, and I'm grateful that I don't have debt. I have no credit card. I have no overdraft. I never brought my children up to buy now, pay later. So I don't have debt, and I think that's attributed towards good health. But I was a person that could have done a little bit of help from the government, genuine help. Not just be part of a system, but genuine help. The conception is that if you're signing on, you're some sort of layabout or some sort of unread, uncultured, uncouth, beer swilling yob. We live in a different world now. People get divorced in their 50s and their 40s and their 60s. All of a sudden, they're wrenched from one home life and out in the streets. They haven't committed crimes, they don't have sicknesses, but they feel embarrassed because you become a pariah. You find out who your real friends are at that time when you're going through difficulties. And a lot of people who are going to listen to this will understand what I mean. It's very lonely when you don't have money. The most worrying thing is, okay, I can understand initially it might take a few weeks, is the suspensions. The number of letters I've received, you can't keep up with it. You get one letter saying you're suspended, then you get letters saying that you owe us community charge, then you get a letter saying that your housing benefit has been suspended. It's inundating. You can't phone, you can't borrow money to put some credit on. I've made phone calls and run out of credit just pressing 1, press 2, press 3, press 4, press 5, press 6, and all of a sudden you've sat there, you've pressed everything. Hold on, I've been cut off 45 minutes later. I've had people at the job centre trying to phone on my behalf, and they've come, Ahmed, we've been trying for the last 2 hours, we can't get through. And you haven't got me when I can't get through. So what I'm talking about is common knowledge. It's not something that people don't know about, or it's something new. So suspension is wrong. I'll tell you something. I'm quite strong-minded, quite strong-willed, quite, get up and go. But what goes on here in England, instead of our computerized system helping people and making things go faster, to be honest, we were better in the old days, where you went and signed on within a couple of weeks you got your money. When you went to the job centre, it was a centre where they had jobs. You looked on the board, you found a job that you think was suitable for you, assistant manager or whatever it was. You were screened by the person behind the desk. If he thought you were qualified, he'd get you an interview. You'd actually speak to the prospective boss on the phone. Yes, thank you very much, I'll be there on Wednesday 3 o'clock. Now you go to the so-called job centres, there are no jobs there. There are no jobs there. So in the past when we phoned, it was easy. You spoke to the boss, you had an interview, yes job, no job. The person behind the desk knows that you're trying. Now we play games. Now we sit in front of laptops and computers. And the only thing we do, the only thing the government offers us, giving us very cheap bus travel. And I even question that. Why do you want my £2.20? Give me free travel so I can go and find work. Why do you need that £2.20? Everybody else is making profits. You give ministers money for their petrol. You give ministers money for their champagne and their caviar, but not to the poor. This idea of suspending people without giving them notice so they can save some money, they can stock up some food whilst they're arranging to get things done, is wrong. It's the equivalent of someone working for a month and at the end of the month being told, oh, by the way, there's a little problem with your work, so we're going to suspend your wages for 6 weeks. What would happen then? In the 3 months of my suspension, it wasn't expected. I didn't have a lot ready. I wasn't expecting it to happen. I was a 32 waist. I went down to a 30. And after the end of the 3-month suspension, a friend of mine actually bought me a pair of trousers, and they're for 13-year-old children. They're kids' trousers, and they're actually loosed. I haven't come back. I think the only thing that can be said that's good about a suspension 3 months is you get to lose weight. Again, looking for the silver lining. What else can I tell you? You know, mentally, I'm strong-willed, strong-minded. I considered suicide. I more or less lived a year and a half on water. You have to fail before you succeed. How can you know the sweetness of honey unless you know the taste of vinegar? And to be honest, some of my bad times, the best thing I do is I put on music. Things from my, good days, things from when I used to go out partying, when I was with my brothers and we're getting ready, looking good. No wives, no children. Yeah, music really helps. I have an eclectic mix. I grew up on rock, and then I discovered Mali at about 14, 15, so a lot of reggae I really enjoyed. I like the Motown. I love jazz. I really like jazz. Latino music, Indian music. When I'm studying or I need to study something, actually, I listen to classical music. I always told my children, listen to classical music when you're studying. Excuse me, do you mind if I... Come in, please. I'm leaving today. So you need to pick up the stuff from me later on, okay? Before what's-his-name gets in.
I'm going to speak to you about as well.
Yep. You're going to have the mattress, the spare mattress, the table, the chair needs to go out.
Yeah.
And it was nice staying with you guys. I enjoyed it.
What time do you reckon you'll be out?
I've spoken to the landlords. They're coming around about 8 o'clock. I've got a cab coming at 8 o'clock, a van coming at 8 o'clock, so everything gets shifted into the van then. As you can see, everything's packed. I'm kind of ready to go. Pack up my books, my bedding. That's it, more or less. Get changed and that's it. Into an unknown future. Yeah. It can't be as worse as my past.
I want to make a bit of backing for you.
Yep, there you go.
If you don't mind.
No, I don't mind.
So you share a lot.
Yeah, listen, Cantusan, this is what I meant. When that 3 months that I didn't have money coming in, I had neighbours, a bit of milk. They come and knock on the door. Ahmed, have you eaten? I say, yeah, I'm fine. But they still leave food, a bit of bread, a bit of cheese. Tobacco is my one weakness. I degraded myself because of tobacco by picking up stuff from the streets, in my opinion. So I never refuse. If someone wants a bit of baccy or something from the streets, you share what you have. People who do not have money should be given the money that they require. It should not be 6 weeks and 8 weeks and we've lost your documents and I'm the job centre, but I won't speak to Barnet Council. Why not? You're all part of the government. You all communicate with each other. Why is it essential for me to run from department to when I say me, anyone, to run from this department to another department to another department? You could all contact each other and confirm things. Why is the government making people do this? Unless there's something insidious going on, unless this is being done intentionally, unless everyone is just being deleted by the computer. It's not one size fits all. We're all individuals who need to be treated like individuals. We need to be treated with humanity, not with computerization. It's fucking everything up. Excuse my French. People are suffering. People are suffering a lot, and it's not right. And they suffer silently. I did. I didn't tell everyone. Something to be proud about. Well, I'm broke. I can't take my daughter out for a cup of coffee or a Big Mac. I smile about it. I laugh about it. What choice do I have? And I tell you why. Because in me, and I tell other people as well, when you're going through bad things, it's just a stepping stone to something further on. Keep going. Don't stop. Don't give up. Be confident. Keep a smile on your face. Don't get depressed. Don't get downhearted. Do you know why? No one gives a fuck. Even your family. So what's the point? Because if they did give a fuck, you wouldn't be in that position in the first place. So what's the point? Persevere. Keep your health. Keep mentally strong. Don't let the system fuck you up. Get as much as you can squeeze out that helps you and move on. It's not a career. Signing on is not a career. My only message is, please, somebody in government, don't take this just as a movie. Do something. People are suffering unnecessarily. And when I say unnecessarily, because of the governance that we have. It's not right. It's not right. And thank you all very much, and I wish you all good luck in this. A voice needs to come out, and like I said, come out, have your say, speak. Don't riot, don't swear, don't shout. Come together collectively. And I know there's a lot of middle class people, a lot of quiet people that I've seen suffering. Make your voices heard. We might start as a whisper, but we can end up roaring if we work together. Government shouldn't do this, it's wrong. I'm out of it. I'm getting out of it. But other people aren't like me, they can't. They need support. I don't like to show emotion publicly. It's really shit that people have to go through this. That's not right. Single mothers with children, fathers feeling like they're not worthy because they can't do little things. That's not right. And the government's responsible for it. I'm not crying for me, my friend. I'm crying for the people that really suffer. I'm out of it.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
That's all right, Taylor.
You either have a choice. You either lay down on the floor on a piece of cardboard, or you go from bus stop to bus stop, or bus to bus. Even the way they've designed stations are drafty. They don't allow people somewhere to sit where it's warm, so very drafty places. It does not allow people to be there. I jump on a bus, I pretend to tap in, and I just hope for the best. You can't sleep on buses all the time. Certain buses, the driver's beginning to recognize you. Then you also have the paranoia of the cameras, like, are they waiting to catch me? Because they know I'm on camera, I didn't pay my fares. Even though you're catching some sleep, you're still aware that you're hanging on to your possessions. It's kind of a strange sleep. I get myself down to the casino and to the West End in order to kill time. I mean, you can't sleep on buses all the time. There is a strange kind of freedom being on the streets. There's a camaraderie. People help each other with tobacco, a cup of tea, share sandwiches, offer each other donuts, whatever little they have, and there's no stress. So we stop the suspension of benefits and stop the late payment of benefits for old claimants and new claimants. I would rather be on the streets than be on the system. However, a lot of people don't have that choice. They're stuck in the system and they don't find a way out. I know, I meet them. I think to say die on the streets is somewhat melodramatic, but if that's what happens, that's what happens. I've made a few friends on the street. They used to have a privileged life. They're lovely people, knowledgeable, astute, aware, capable, but they just lack a little bit of support. Sometimes I go to the casino. It's nice, it's warm, it's a place where I can take a quick wash. So that's why I took out my membership. And by looking smart, I'm able to go into those casinos or occasionally sit in a nice hotel, and I'm not shunned because I'm smelly or my nails are filthy, or so that society will accept you. You're still homeless. When I was asked to do this in the beginning, there is a certain element of embarrassment. But this is reality, this is truth, this is my life. So I'm happy to say, look, this is how I'm living, but what I realize is that other people who are living in the same way as I am, but are unable to cope, and the government needs to help them. I think I've come to the conclusion that before the system deletes me, I think I will delete myself from the system. I don't see any other